Hello everyone, it is Matt. We are in NFL Week 5. A month is already passed by in the season. Can you believe it? In this video, I will be covering 6 anytime touchdown score parlays. What I did is I took all the games that had the highest over-unders and did the research, did the digging, looked through some data to find the people who were going to score a touchdown. So stay tuned, and if you are new here, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and then hit the notification button for all my videos. My first play out of the 6 is we're going to be looking at a running back. His name is not Mason Taylor. His name is Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, if we look at his last 5 games, it's very encouraging. In week 3, he had 3 touchdowns. So he's got 4 on the year. And I'm going to tell you why I like Jonathan Taylor. The Raiders are giving up 130 yards per game on the ground on the road this season. And if we go take a look at these stats right here, we can see NFL team opponent rushing touchdowns per game. And if we look at the Raiders, they're giving up 1 touchdown on average per game this season and a whopping 1.5 on the road. So you got to love that. And the Colts are a team who just really lost a close one to the Rams last week, and they're going to be motivated at home. They're 7-point favorites. So there's a lot of momentum. They're going to play with a lot of emotion. And if we just go to StatMuse as well, and we look at Jonathan Taylor when he's played the Raiders, this is going to be the tipping point right here. He's played the Raiders 4 times in his career, and he has scored in every single game he's ever played against them. So that is my lock of the week right there. I think on my sports book it's at minus 200. There's not a lot of value there, but if you're going to be stacking them in a parlay like we're doing here, it's great. 1 pick down, 5 more to go. I already typed it in ahead of time. Justin Fields is who we're targeting, and I think he's definitely going to find the end zone, and we're going to get a nice demon play, so you already know that means we're going to get great value. The Jets are taking on one of the worst defenses in the NFL. If we go back to team rankings here, we look at the Cowboys and see how many touchdowns they are giving up per game. We can go all the way down towards the bottom here. They are giving up on average 4 touchdowns per game, and they gave up 5 touchdowns last week in that overtime tie game thriller that we watched on Sunday night. And this is great news for anybody who's a Jets fan. You know points are going to come by the bunches. If you have Braylon Allen in your fantasy team, I'm sorry, but that's going to work out for Justin Fields because I think Dallas is going to stop the box to try and stop Breece Hall, and he can only take on so many touches. And I think that's going to force Justin Fields into a lot of throwing situations, and he's not the best quarterback, pocket quarterback that is, so he's going to do a lot of scampering and scrambling around. So I think that's going to lead to a touchdown. Kind of a similar game in week 1 when they played the Steelers. The Steelers have a pretty good defense, and he got 2 rushing touchdowns versus them. So keep your eyes peeled for this one. 2 picks down, 4 more to go. We're going to stay in this game here. We're going to be looking at somebody on the other side of the ball. We're going to be looking at Dallas running back Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams, he's going to find the end zone in this one. Dak is coming off a 300-yard performance, and I don't see him doing it again. And I think there's going to be more balance in the offense. Here's why. And if we just look at his last 5, for example, he has 4 touchdowns in 4 games this year. You got to love that. And if you go over to ESPN.com, and we just kind of see what he's been doing, he's been getting a lot of touches. He's averaging 15.75 carries a game. That's a lot of opportunities. Like I said, he also has 4 touchdowns. He scored 2 versus Philly, who has a great defense. The Giants have a pretty good run defense. He's got in 1. Green Bay has a good defense. Micah Parsons, he still managed to score. And if we just look at the Jets and we look at opponents' touchdowns on this one too, the Jets, if we go all the way down towards the bottom at 24, they're giving up 3.5 touchdowns at home and 3 on average. And I think Dak throws 2, and I think Javonte Williams definitely finds 1 for himself. We have 3 picks down, and I'm going to give you 3 more. Our next game is going to take us to the Lions and Bengals game with the over-under of almost 50. It's one of the highest over-unders on the day, so that means a lot of points are going to be scored. I was going between Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I'm going to go with Brown, and I'm going to tell you why. If we go over to ESPN.com just to check on his stats first, not counting week 1 where he only had 4 catches for 45 yards and no touchdowns. Since then, he's had 6 touchdowns. His receptions have gone up, his targets have gone up, and those are even in lopsided games. Like they were blowing out the Bears, and he still had 3 touchdowns. They were blowing out the Browns, and he still had 2 touchdowns. So what that tells me is even though they were winning and had a huge lead, they weren't limiting his touches. And if you watch the Lions game last week, as soon as they got a big lead, they were limiting Gibbs' touches. And plus, Amon-Ra, if we're adding him into a parlay, he's going to have more value because technically he's less likely to score than Gibbs, but I still think they both find the end zone. Don't overthink this. They're probably both going to score if you're being honest, but if I had to pick one to add in a parlay, we're going to add Brown. My fifth play is going to be in the Commanders and Chargers game. The over-under is almost 50, which means a lot of points are going to be scored. As you can see here, I'm leaning towards Keenan Allen, and I'm going to tell you why. First, Jaden Daniels, he's actually planning to play this Sunday after being out the last couple weeks. The Chargers still have one of the best defenses in the league, even though they lost. I would steer clear of Washington, anyone on offense, just to see how healthy Jaden Daniel is. So that's why I'm targeting one of the best trusted veterans right now in the league in Keenan Allen. And if we go to ESPN.com and we just kind of look at what the Los Angeles Chargers have been up to on offense, Herbert's going to go to his trusted wideout, especially once the Chargers are going to have to bounce back here after that ugly loss in New York. If we look at rushing touchdowns, they only have 3 on the year. It's not really that impressive. But if we go to the receiving here, this is pretty interesting. Quentin Johnston, he has the most targets and he has the most touchdowns, but Keenan Allen has the most receptions, 2 less targets and 3 touchdowns. I think Quentin Johnston is like a boomer bust. He's like the deep threat, the big body deep threat. Lad McConkey, interesting fella. He was really supposed to explode in his sophomore year, but I don't know if he's dealing with an injury. We saw him wearing a shoulder girdle versus the Giants. He's been dropping balls, and that makes me nervous. So I think when you need a touchdown, you need a conversion, you need a first down. I think Justin Herbert knows Keenan Allen's his guy, and I love how this is a goblin play, especially in the frequency where he's been scoring recently. So I really love that play. We're 5 picks in. I have 1 more to go, and I'm going to save it for probably one of the easiest plays, and it happens to be one of the very last plays or one of the last games of the day. We're going to cook it up with James Cook. The over-under in here is Patriots and Bills. Let me just paint the picture for you. It's Sunday Night Football, prime time in Buffalo. That means Josh Allen and James Cook. And I'm back in Buffalo all the way here. Some might try and say, hey, Stephon Diggs, he's back. Revenge game. I don't even think so. I'm going to continue to ride the hot hand at running back with James Cook. He has 5 touchdowns this season. He's on a streak of 8 consecutive touchdowns dating back to last season, which is actually a franchise record. So we're going to keep riding James Cook every week. And that's it, everyone. We have Jonathan Taylor to score, Justin Fields, Javonte Williams, Amon-Ra, Keenan Allen, and James Cook. I really love this parlay. It's probably one of my favorites that I've done all season, and I hope you follow. And when we win, let me know. Thank you.